But it isn't. But isn't China the ultimate surveillance state? Don't they have social credit score and AI facial recognition tech that tracks citizens everywhere? I might be brainwashed by Joe Rogan, so please educate me. What you just described, what you just said, every in-app browser does this. But what you also just described is what America is doing currently as well. The Chinese social credit system has been exaggerated dramatically in America, especially by those who are like, especially by like Joe Rogan and the like. But America is currently using AI facial recognition tech, and America is currently utilizing and has been utilizing for a much longer time than even fucking China, a credit system. It's just called your credit score. So all that sort of stuff exists both in China and also in the United States of America as well. I'm just brainwashed? No, I mean, it's okay. Everyone's brainwashed. This doesn't mean it's good, by the way. It's not. I don't like the credit system. I don't like the social credit system, and I don't like the fucking credit system in the United States of America. Okay? I think AI facial recognition technology is terrifying. Do not misunderstand me. These are all bad things. So it's not good when China's doing. Just because I fucking dick ride Xi Jinping when he builds, fast trains and shit doesn't change that reality that like China as a state is doing, global hegemonic superpower shit, and global hegemonic superpower shit is oftentimes unacceptable. It might be marginally less invasive than like the American structure or anything like that, but ultimately it doesn't matter. If we're talking about like China's like debtor economy, if we're talking about like China's One Belt One Road initiative, or the way that they deal with like African nations and whatnot, it might be marginally better than the Western world in some respects. But as far as like domestic surveillance goes, China is even more aggressive than the United States of America. Marginally, what? China's foreign policy is dramatically better than the United States of America. That is objectively a fact. Now, that all might change as they become the official superpower, okay? That might change down the line when they become the official superpower, okay? But as it stands currently, it is infinitely better. That's not a hot take. That's not a hot take. That's not a hot take. And also, on top of that, literally, there is a reason why African nations would rather fucking work with Chinese loans than the IMF. That's not a hot take. That's not even my take. Fucking even Foreign Policy magazine says this, like openly admits it. It's only a hot take because China bad. And China is bad. They give better conditions on loans, and those conditions do not fucking revolve around like austerity measures being implemented. So technically, it's not a hot take, it's a cold take. But as far as like China's domestic surveillance on its own citizens, it's awful. It's fucking truly awful. It's very authoritarian. It's not good. Information control is pretty bad. You can't really be a dissident, in the same way that like I can be a fucking asshole in America. China isn't bad. You're a Ameribrain dipshit. What? How to deal with African nations? Please tell us how it's bad. The wild China fear mongering is wild. Okay, this is really odd to get mad at me over because I think I'm pretty, I'm pretty open minded, and oftentimes will say things that either jokingly or not even jokingly that are openly in support of multipolarity, openly in support of the Chinese government. So, when I talk about Chinese foreign policy being significantly better than American foreign policy, significantly less devastating than American foreign policy, and you're upset because, like, what, I didn't glaze Top G hard enough? What is this? Here comes the shut up tanky shit? No, I'm not even saying that. What tanks, dumbass? What tanks? The notion that, like, you're a tanky because you support the Chinese state is so fucking stupid. Like, China has never done anything that is like resembling fucking, sending tanks into Hungary. Okay. Like, it's so stupid. Shut up. We're done. We're done with this. Like, idiotic fucking, idiotic back and forth. I just don't want people who call themselves Marxist-Leninists to forget the critical part of critical support. Okay. That means like, offering criticism sometimes. when it's worthy. Yeah, I wonder how the Maoist guerrilla fighters in the Philippines, Indonesia feel about China. Wait, what do you mean? The Chinese app TikTok quite literally solidified Bong Bong Marcos' chances in the Philippines. If it was so invested in changing people's attitudes, if they were so invested in changing people's attitudes about, like even smaller nation states that you could absolutely exercise your power over, I certainly feel like they would have done a better job of doing that. Bong Bong Marcos, a U.S. ally, not a Chinese one. Yeah, that's my point. Take down the comments once we get past the base. Saying it's hyper-authoritarian because it shits on capitalist dissidents is moronic. Yeah, take down the comments once we get past basic dunks. Wait, what? Saying it's hyper-authoritarian because it shits on capitalist dissidents? The Chinese surveillance state is significant. The Chinese surveillance state exists in the same vein that the American surveillance state exists. This much we already talked about. But China is also much more active in and much more hands-on in dealing with people that they are surveilling around the clock. A person like myself cannot exist within the boundaries of China. If there was a person like myself who had like the exact opposite point of view, okay, and was like basically criticizing the Chinese government endlessly, okay, they could have done it from Hong Kong, but now they have to do it from America, basically. Point is, they can't do it to, they can't talk as openly and do counter propaganda in the same vein inside of the borders, inside of the boundaries of the country. It's so funny when motherfuckers are like, bro, you're not defending China hard enough. When a gigantic chunk of the American population, when they hear anything that I say about China that is considered to be like even remotely objective and sometimes even positive, they go, oh, dude, you are literally a spy for Xi Jinping. Like, you are a communist psycho. Like, you're an agent for the Chinese state. You know what I mean? Meanwhile, the guy is fucking mad that I'm not like glazing China hard enough. That's insane. Like, that's crazy. No, I don't think it's okay. I will always tell you, I am like, I think America is too cocky and too confident because of how much power it holds. And that is precisely the reason why America has allowed the Western world to have like pretty much a hands-off approach and a libertarian attitude towards free speech. That's it. That's literally the only reason. There have been moments when the United States of America had no free speech, or free speech resembling what we have currently, during times of war, as a matter of fact. That's it. I just don't like the China bad phrasing, period. To be honest, like, read Red Star over the Third World, and I think there would be, where would we be had China collapse like the USSR? I do think you are fair with China, and I get that China is authoritarian when it comes to its control over media and information, but they kind of have a reason to do what they're doing domestically, given America's ability to spend unlimited dollars on global information warfare. Yes, that is the same reason why I routinely describe, Cuba and the way that Cuba operates as well. That is the correct take. No, I understand that is part of the reason. But as China becomes the global superpower that the United States is right now, especially through economic means rather than through direct warfare, okay, it could ease up on that free speech, but they don't seem to be interested in doing anything like that. Now, can Cuba do that? Fuck no. Like, Cuba is a tiny island nation. Like, no shot, right? It's inside of the ass cheeks of the largest imperialist superpower on the fucking planet that has been genuinely causing bloodshed and all-out war in many respects for a very long time. Cuba can't ease on the reins, for sure. I'm not going to talk about Canada. It's so boring. Proceeds to debate random 18-year-old chatters with a brain lettuce takes for the next 2 hours. I think it's actually much more interesting to talk about, yes, multipolarity and a possible new superpower in the ring than it is to talk about Canada, which is America's hat, both literally and also when it comes to foreign policy. Okay? Sorry. Like, no disrespect. Like I said, I love Canada, but like Snow Mexico is just America's hat. Like, go sell more weapons to the fucking Saudis. You know what I mean? USA is Canada's diaper. I love that. Dude, it'd be so much funnier if we had like a Balkan style if NA had like Balkan style shit talking, like USA, Canada diaper, actually, fuck you. You know what I mean? Your mother is sheepdog. Your mother is sheep, your father is dog. You build wall for southern border. Why no build wall for north? No more Americans coming into Canada. That kind of thing. Like Balkan posting, but for NA. I think it's interesting that CSIS, Canadian CIA's manufacturing culture war against China so that we can be on the US side of the multipolarity. I mean, it's understandable why they would do that. Okay? That does make sense. The tri-state area has a potential for Balkan posting. Yeah, okay.